welcome to the Deuce Sports Podcast. I'm yours truly, Alvin's Deuce, back and better than ever. I'm here to talk about, man, you already know, the Heat versus the Celtics, man. And yeah, it's a barn burner. Before I start, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this podcast to your friends and families, man. Get me out there, man. Get me out there. Get us out there, man. We in this together. We want to get, this podcast off the floor and get it into your homes, man. Get it into your cars. Get it into your living rooms, man. Um, this is, not just a podcast, but this is, you know, uh a new culture. This is, you know, something that you can grow with, man. I'm here. I'm not perfect. I'm here to grow with you, man. As we grow together in this journey. So welcome. Do Sports Podcast available on all platforms. Um, I'm here to talk about something that you know that really you know got me excited, and it really and I felt like I felt like we went through something as a Heat fan yesterday, and what do I gotta say about this, man? Like, I mean, in life, man, there's people who doubt you, people who count you out. There's people who just straight up, flat out disrespect you, disregard you. Um, Even though um no one's perfect, I understand all that. Um, but there's times where this world can be cruel. This world can really put you in the dumps. This world could count you out and stuff like that. Also I just want to let you guys also know, when I speak about sports, I also correlate it within life. You know what I'm saying? And in sports, it gives you a range of emotions. In life, there's range of emotions. Um, so you know, I said it last podcast. I just felt like the media has really um disrespected and counted the Heat out for some reason, some odd reason. I don't understand why. I've never seen it in my days watching the game of basketball to watch and see the complete disregard of any body of work of a person or of an establishment of an organization. In this case, an organization as in the Miami Heat, and also in this case, a person in Jimmy Butler. Like, let me start with the organization. With Miami Heat, number one seed this year in the Eastern Conference. You're not the number one seed for no reason. And series after series, like they were getting, they weren't getting the just due. And with Philly, everybody want. I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but everybody wanted Philly. Everybody seemed like they wanted Philly. Philly. The narrative around the series seemed like it was Philly, 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 Philly. You would watch First Take, you would watch FS1 and whatnot. You would watch Get Up. You would watch KP and M, KJ and M, if I'm not mistaken. And you would see that they're talking about anything but Miami Heat. They're talking about anything but Jimmy Butler. And I started getting more and more frustrated about it. And I'm just like, yo, why are we never being talked about? Even the person I listen to almost all the time, and Bill Simmons of the Bill Simmons podcast, even with him, he rarely talks about the Miami Heat. And I'm like, so nobody's gonna ever um give these guys credit. Nobody's gonna ever put these um uh players and this organization in any conversation or any legit basketball conversation as if there's some type of scrubs or whatnot. It would continue on in and on out. Like I couldn't understand it. Couldn't believe it. I didn't understand why it was continually happening. Um, and then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you see it again. Everybody and their mama want Boston to win. Everybody and their mama choosing Boston to win and whatnot. And I just couldn't understand it. I still don't understand it to be honest. And it's like, yo, um, you guys don't remember a couple years ago the Miami Heat went toe to toe with LeBron James in the bubble. Everybody called it saying the bubble didn't count. Bubble didn't count. There was no fans. There was no true test. There was no home court advantage or whatnot. You had to have no fans yelling at you saying you suck, stuff like that while you're shooting the free throw and stuff like that. But in my opinion, the bubble championship was the most legit, more legit championship than all the other championships because you got to understand, you came in, everybody came in fresh, everybody came in healthy. That was a great display of basketball with no interruptions, no injuries, no nagging nicks and knacks. That's what we're dealing with right now. We are dealing with all that right now in the Boston and Heat Eastern Conference Finals because injuries has played a major part. Injuries have played a major part in this series, whether you like it or not. Now, everybody's had their narrative. Everybody going on these talk shows and sports shows and whatnot, and their narrative is that Boston is going to win, and not just win, but like is speaking towards it as if convincingly Boston will win. Like it's something that is damn sure a definite possibility. Like something that you can pretty much expect it. As if you pretty much can book it. Like put your money on it type stuff. And it's like wow, like what on what God's green earth gives you the impression that the Boston Celtics can literally just roll over this Heat team, this Heat organization, Heat culture, Jimmy Butler, one of the toughest players in this league. And it just continued on, it continued on, it continued on, it continued on. It was as if it was some type of volcano or whatnot. It's like, you never know. You don't see it. Every now and then you'll see some lava spewing from the top of the volcano every now and then. But then, you know, little do you know, the volcano is slowly moving to the top, moving to the top, moving to the top. That magma is slowly moving to the top, moving to the top. And then all of a sudden, it gets to its peak. And then all of a sudden, we have a volcanic eruption. And I feel like that's what happened with the disrespect, the 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 lack of um the lack of validity towards these confident claims that the Boston is going to just get by Miami. Now, when I say volcanic eruption, I bet everybody's looking at, what are you talking about? Now, when I say volcanic eruption, I feel like it got to the point where it finally got to a point of volcanic eruption at this point right here. Golden State Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks, right? They beat the Dallas Mavericks with a gentleman's sweep, 4-1 in the series. Now, they receiving the trophy, and Draymond Green has the 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 the, I guess the, I don't know, the balls, or I don't know if somebody made him do it. I don't know. He just had the, just he boldly went and said, "We're gonna see the Boston Celtics in the finals. We're gonna beat the Celtics." And I'm here like, whoa. Do you know that the Heat is still playing with the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals? The series is still going on. I feel like that is the volcanic eruption right there. To go on national television in front of your fans, celebrating your Western Conference, just finishing, just completing, just wrapping up your Western Conference championship, and you just go and say, "We're gonna see the Boston Celtics. We will see you in the finals, and we're gonna beat you in the final." Like, I was like floored, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, this." I'm like, hold up, hold up. What did I just see here? Did I just see Draymond Green say that he's gonna see the Boston Celtics in the finals while we're still playing the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference, down 3-2, going to Boston? So now I'm like, okay, I've had enough. This has gone too far. You've guaranteed that the Boston Celtics will move on to the NBA Finals. And as Heat fans, as, you know, people that follow the Miami Heat organization, we took that to offense. I mean, you can see Adonis has, the bench, the organization, they took it to an offense. Like, whoa, you're counting us out? And not only you counting us out, everybody else is counting us out. Everybody else has been counting us out from the beginning. And I just look at it as like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This looks like straight blatant disrespect. Disrespect of the body of work that you've accumulated throughout the season. The disrespect of the head coach, Eric Spoelstra, who has 3 rings, to Ime Udoka, who's his first season. And you trying to tell me that first year head coach is receiving so much respect over a decorated head coach with 3 rings? 3 rings. Not one, not two, but 3 rings. 3 NBA championships. Right? And to continue to see that. And then you see people just like, well, tonight's the night. Stephen A. going on ESPN said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go ahead and book my flight um for Golden State and stuff like that, and in Boston, because um I won't be in South Beach anymore. It is over." That's what he said. Clearly, clear as day, on ESPN after the game. It is over. Now, granted, what would bring up this type of confidence, this type of um um of disregard to who is on the other side of the court? And okay, I get it. It could be injuries. Jimmy Butler wasn't right. He had a swollen knee. You got you got the reigning sixth man of the year, Tyler Hero, who is dealing with a groin injury and whatnot. And then you got PJ Tucker dealing with bad hamstrings and whatnot. You got Kyle Lowry also dealing with hamstring and whatnot. And then you also got Victor Oladipo coming back from injury, still trying to acclimate himself and as back to a two way player. Um, and I understand, 'cause, the last two games, you know, we wasn't playing up to par. Jimmy Butler had 13 points in Game Five, and whatnot. Kyle Lowry had 0 points in Game Five, and in my opinion, when you see those scores, I get it. That even inflates your confidence even more when it comes to them moving on. But my thing is like what Udonis has him said. You broke the code. You have no business predicting that they're going to lose. You can do anything you want. You can say who you feel like is going to win and whatnot, but to go above and beyond to say that they're going to go on and win the game, win the series, it's it's a code you don't break. Like it's just straight up disrespect. Now, everybody came to Boston. Don't get it twisted. Boston, that's one of the toughest home courts to play in the playoffs. Period. Bar none. That's top five in my opinion when it comes to playoff atmosphere. I'll give it to Boston. I'll give it to Golden State. I'll give it to Philadelphia in the playoffs. I'll give it to the Los Angeles Lakers, New York Knicks in the playoffs and whatnot. Those are like five premier home court advantage, playoff playoff atmosphere, Game 6, Game 7 type, ruckus. So Boston, in my opinion, is probably the top spot to go into a Eastern Conference Finals, into Boston, into the Garden in Boston, in the Game 6, Game 7. Listen, that is where legends are made of. That is where stars are born. That is, the best of the best, the top of the top when it comes to situation, when it comes to an atmosphere, when it comes to what's at stake. Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals in Boston. We've seen that happen close to 9 years ago. Game 6, LeBron. He had to do what he had to do. He scored 46, and just to get us by that game, legendary game, bar none, his marquee game in his career. He could, if you ask him that, I'm pretty sure that is what's gonna come up, if not be top three. Now, of course, people's like, you know what? Ain't no way, ain't no way a busted up, hurt Miami Heat team gonna go into Boston, Game 6, and win this game. Jimmy Butler scored 13. He got swelled up knees. PJ Tucker, he's dealing with um bad hamstrings. Bam Adebayo, he comes in one game and he comes in the next, comes back, he goes back the next, up and down. Kyle Lowry just scored a straight goose egg last game, 0 points. Max Strus missed 14, 15 threes in a row. Duncan Robinson still hasn't found his groove. Um, what else? It's on and on. Multiple. Tyler Hero. with a messed up groin, can't play. So I get it. When you bring that to the to the pie, bring that to the argument. Okay, I can understand that. Now I can understand where you can say that. Okay, you feel like he's not going to win, but before all that, you guys they were already saying that the Heat weren't going to win. They're already forecasting that Boston is going to move on. They still might move on, but my thing is the fashion that they expected Boston to move on was winning this game in Game 6. Now, game goes on, and Jimmy Butler being consistent, you know, playing the field, reading the defense. PJ Tucker doing his thing, playing good defense. Bam Adebayo, staying around the rim, getting the rebound. Kyle Lowry, his best game in the playoffs yet. I'm not gonna lie to you. 18 points, 10 assists. His best game in the playoffs yet. He chose the right day to bring out the best game. Max Strus came alive a little bit. Victor Oladipo playing defense. Gabe Vincent running the offense. Caleb Martin playing some good defense and whatnot. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler scoring 47 points was just legendary. I talked about the disrespect when it comes to the Miami organization. Now let's talk about the disrespect that people have been giving Jimmy Butler, saying Jimmy Butler is not a superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you didn't think Jimmy Butler was a superstar, after last night, it's over. You have to say he has solidified himself as a superstar. To go into that Garden, Game 6, ruckus crowd, a lively crowd, a tough crowd, all Boston fans, 90% Boston fans, and go in there and score 47, time in and time out, clutch shot after clutch shot, and get out of there with a win. You're not a superstar. Only superstars can do that. So for everybody that still is debating if he's a superstar or not, he's a superstar in my book, and he should be a superstar in your book. And to see everybody stunned, you see everybody is stunned that they won. Is like, why is everybody stunned that they won? This is Heat culture. We've showed this to you guys time in and time out. We've gotten 3 championships showing you that this is a premier organization. And for Draymond Green to go in front of national television, in front of all his fans and say that they're going to see the Boston Celtics in the finals, sir, that is flat out disrespectful and irresponsible. And shout out to Udonis Haslem. After the game, he went straight to the podium where Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, where they said, hey, relay the message. Draymond Green, you said that we were going to lose this game. And we here. We still alive. And shouts out to Udonis Haslem. That is why the captain is still on this team, man. He keeps the ship afloat, man. He runs the ship, man. So shouts out to the Miami Heat. One of the best games I've seen in a while, maybe since 2013. And man, it was war out there. It was war out there. And to have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum only combined for 1 shot in the second half, in the fourth quarter, is remarkable. So this is going to be a nip and tuck game. Tomorrow on a Sunday night. Me, you know who I got? I got Miami Heat coming in and Heat's house, and Boston, you lost a shot. Your chance was to, you see blood in the water, you attack. Blood was in the water. Don't get it twisted. Heat fans, Heat organization, we were leaking. We were leaking out there. But we survived. The Boston Celtics, blood was in the water. You were supposed to attack and go for the kill, and you did not. Now the Heat is still alive. Now you got to go back to the Heat's house and try to go and secure a victory. And in my opinion, everybody's still picking the Celtics after all that. People still picking the Celtics, but they're picking the Celtics with a little bit of reluctance now, and not just flat out. Oh, everybody, and it was so remarkable seeing everybody on ESPN, right? Everybody on ESPN, they were like, "Oh, we just were saying that because of injury, this and that, and whatnot." No, you weren't saying that just because of injury. You were saying that throughout the whole time, throughout even before the injuries, you guys were assuming that the Boston Celtics were already on a one-way ticket to the NBA Finals. And, like I said, the volcano erupted that night when Draymond Green was asked, "Oh, who would you like to see?" It's not about who I would like to see. It's who we're gonna see, and we're gonna see the Boston Celtics. Is that right, Draymond Green? You're gonna see the Boston Celtics, but we'll see about that tomorrow night. We'll see about that tomorrow night, Game 7 in Miami, to see if you're going to see the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals and stuff like that. Credit goes to the Golden State Warriors. You know, um, I want to sit here and give kudos to Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's been out for 2 years in a gruesome injury, and to see Klay Thompson game after game get better and better. Klay Thompson is getting back to becoming the Klay of old. And granted, if we see the Klay of old, Game 6 Klay back to being the way he was 2 years prior to his injury, look out. But guess what? Heat culture. I believe that the Heat is going to win this game tomorrow night. And come on, man. We got to start putting, like I said, start putting some respect on the Heat's name. Start putting some respect on Jimmy Butler's name. And for goodness sakes, at least acknowledge the fact that you have a Hall of Fame head coach on the sideline coaching against the first year head coach. I mean, come on. The amount of respect. Don't get me wrong. Ime Udoka, you've done a great job as the Boston Celtics head coach for a first year head coach. This is the best job I've seen of a head coach who has taken over the reins in his first year. This is the best coaching job I've seen, period, when it comes to you a coach being in the seat for the first year and to bring you all the way to the conference finals with the potential to be in the finals. That's the best I've ever seen. But come on, let's put some respect on Eric Spoelstra's name. You guys can't tell me that you feel like Ime Udoka is a better coach than Eric Spoelstra. Last night, Ime Udoka got flat out coached by Eric Spoelstra. You could see Eric Spoelstra, he formed the defense. I was looking at it on the field, on the court, and it was pretty much a 1-2-2. You had the point guard at the top, Kyle Lowry guarding at the top, and you had both the forwards guarding the edges, and you could see it. You could literally see it on the court. One player up top, two on the side, two on the side. Wherever the ball moved, it was like as if it was some type of new defense Eric Spoelstra created, where they all just swarmed, and the way they moved, they shifted their feet. It was remarkable to see the pace that the ball was moving, and then you to see that everybody moving and shifting their legs, shifting their feet where the ball was rotating at an instant, within an instant. So what they never was able to, to find that crease, find that opening within that ball movement. Kudos to Eric Spoelstra with dialing up or with coming up with that defensive scheme. Once again, man, tomorrow the big game, one of the biggest games in Heat's recent history. I have the Heat winning. I have the Heat going to the finals. Shouts out to Jimmy Butler. I have him stepping up once again. And Kyle Lowry, we paid him $30 million a year. He was really good all year. Throughout the playoffs, he couldn't play. And we just needed one game. One game to validate the $30 million that we give you per year. This one game that that validated that $30 million was last night with 18-10. Man, we needed that. We needed that. Hopefully, Tyler Hero could come back from that groin injury and we'll have even more firepower. But one thing about the Heat, you come to the Heat home tomorrow night, it's going to be a ruckus crowd. It's going to be electric. It's going to be white hot heat. And, you know, this team is tough. This team is gritty. We scratch and claw. We get where we need to go, and we do what we need to get done. And you know, that's all I have to say on this episode. Put some respect on Heat's name. Put some respect on Jimmy Butler's name. Put some respect on Eric Spoelstra's name. Put some respect on this organization. Come on, Draymond. You broke the code. You broke the code, like Haslam said. I'm out. The Deuce Sports Show. Please subscribe. It's your boy Deuce. It's your boy signing out.